there are so many rules and so many mindsets of the way you should behave, and so many people ready to stand and judge you as inappropriate if you don't jump through their hoops in the way they think that they need you to so that they can feel better, that so many people have gotten so separated from their own sense of well-being. They don't know who you are. Don't listen to them. And so our answer to you is that so many of you have begun to listen to those in authority around you rather than listening to the guidance that you were born with. Now, the next logical question would be, well, shouldn't it be set up differently? Shouldn't our guidance come through clearer? And we say, your guidance is very clear. You know what feels good. You know what feels bad. You can reach back to some of your earliest memories and you can remember that first gut-wrenching feeling that you got when somebody was pointing to you and calling you inappropriate. We would imagine that many of you could sit down and make a list of those kinds of experiences where little by little someone tried to convince you that you were not good, and in every case it was someone who had already convinced themselves that they were not good, you see. So what we want to say is, you were born with guidance, and now what we're hearing from so many of you is, but why didn't I use the guidance I was born with? And we say, rather than saying, why didn't I use the guidance I was born with, we would so much rather hear from you, I'm going to begin to use the guidance that I was born with. And then what happens is, then you stand in this powerful place where you have extracted from experience all of this contrasting experience that has launched incredible rockets of desire into your future. And now as you come into alignment, most of you, in nearly every case, say, every bit of that stuff that yesterday I said was horrible, I now feel appreciation for, because it gave me the clarity to desire, and now I am the receiver of that which I've desired, and my life is more because of it than it would have been otherwise. So the conversation that we want to have with you is not whether the system's right or not. It is, the conversation we want to have with you is, how can I, in my now, close the gap between my asking and receiving? How can I become so entrusting of the laws of the universe and so aware of my own vibrational countenance that I can get into this place where I just expect well-being to flow to me? And when you get to that place, then that eagerness returns. That's exactly how the little ones feel. Watch them. The feeling of coming back into alignment with who you are is an undeniable experience. And once you consciously make it, you never have to leave it again, you see. So the question that we're really hearing is, why does it happen? We say, stuff happens. You say, but shouldn't it be different? And we say, no, it's perfect. You say, but shouldn't it have been easier along the way? And we say, yes, but that was up to you. You say, but shouldn't it be easier now? And we say, yes, but that is up to you. In other words, we can sit here today, we can continue the struggle the rest of your physical life, or we can say, let's make peace with it. It is also a function of, from your broader non-physical perspective, wanting the contrasting experience in order to help you formulate your desires. You see, you just got to grasp this, that this is an evolving, expanding universe. This is not a universe where somebody's got it all figured out, and so here's this group of angels in heaven that have figured out the perfect life, and then they say, go forth, little ones, and just live as we've been living. It isn't that way. There must be expansion in order to continue to be existence, you see. And so with expansion comes contrast, and with contrast comes discernment. With contrast comes the ability to speculate, to mold, to anticipate. Look at it this way. If you were a chef in a well-stocked kitchen, you would be so much happier than if you were a chef in a kitchen that had 3 ingredients. In other words, a well-stocked kitchen doesn't mean you have to put it all in your pie, but it sure does give you a lot of other options, you see. Make peace with it. Yeah. Say, this contrasting world is what the expansion is all about. The variety, the contrast is what puts the eternalness in eternity. And we were always born with guidance, and lament only for a little bit that you lost sense of your guidance. We don't think that any of you have lost sense of it as much as you think. We think you know when your feelings are hurt. We think you know when you're angry. We think you know when you feel disempowered. We think you know it. And we think it's time for you to take it back. But we think it's also time for you to reach the place where you really take it back. As long as you're blaming anyone or anything for anything, you're disempowered. And we're not just talking to you, we're talking to anyone. As long as you're blaming anyone or anything for anything, you are disempowered, because that says they have power over me, and no one does, because no one can vibrate for you. Law of attraction is lovingly delivering to everyone who asks the precise answer that they are able to hear. So never suffer over those who aren't getting your answers, because you can't even force feed them.